Irv Smith did not play, was on the IR last year. Thoughts on Irv Smith?
It was really disappointing because I know a lot of people had really high hopes for him, and the worst part was he got injured in the very last preseason game and didn't even really realize it until I kind of forgot about this until I was reading just an article before we jumped on here. He didn't realize he had hurt himself as badly as he did, so it's just kind of a freak thing. Tore his meniscus, didn't know he tore his meniscus. Actually, kept playing in that preseason game, and then found out the next day when they did an MRI that he needed season ending surgery. So I think a lot of people were probably disappointed because by the time the fourth preseason game rolls around, most, if not all, fantasy drafts are pretty well wrapped up. I know a few still hang on. I know we try to do our fantasy draft as late as possible. In fact, I think a few times we've been watching the Broncos' last preseason game as we're doing our draft, just so that we don't end up with this situation. So I think a lot of people were probably a little spurned by him, but don't let that injury, which realistically doesn't have any control over. It's not like he went out there trying to tear his meniscus and miss all season. I still think that Irv Smith Jr. has a pretty decent season, and these numbers that we're seeing with these wide receivers obviously were inflated because Irv Smith Jr. wasn't there on the field. He had a good rookie season. We all hoped that he would kind of build on that, especially if you drafted him, and then it just didn't happen because he didn't play. So I still think that Irv Smith Jr. I don't think he's in the top tier of tight ends, and we haven't gotten into our tiers just yet, and I haven't really broken that down. I do not believe he's in that top tier with Kittle or Kelsey or Mark Andrews, but I do think he can be in that second tier, and that's where I kind of see him finishing is in that second tier of tight ends.
Yeah, I think that you're going to see Irv Smith somewhere with a total of 55 receptions, 74 targets, 500 yards, and 7-8 touchdowns when it's all said and done, right? Which kind of puts you in that fringe tight end one territory. So I think you can draft him at 18 and he'll probably finish up there around tight end 11, 12, 13 when it's all said and done.